if anybody's out, they can use this. We're going to start with your measures of position. Now, in your measures of position, we're going to look for your quartiles, we're going to look for your median, we're going to look for your ranges, your max, minus, your min, and we're going to do this on your calculator. In fact, your calculator does a great job with making the box and whisker graph. The only thing you have to do then is get it to your paper. So make sure you have a calculator handy, because we're going to be using your calculator. And
Hey, Gunner.
Can you still reach?
Take the thing off the wall and just carry it.
No. All right. So we're going to enter this data, tuition cost. We're going to enter this into your L1, and I'm going to do it as well, so that we can take a look at where your 5 summary numbers are. It's on page 94. I'm sorry. What's on the page?
Nah, it works.
Oh, all right. We just feel weird.
Yeah.
We don't want you to feel weird in here.
I mean, I am weird.
We want you to be very comfortable in here. Okay, get it in your L1. I need you to be able to find where you're going to locate these. And again, you go to edit. If you can't remember how to do it, go up there and clear. Don't delete. Clear and get these in your So we're going to take this and we're going to go to stat, do an L1. If it's in something else, put it in whatever you put it in. And when you get here, come down here, scroll all the way down till you can't scroll anymore. Those numbers right there are your 5 summary numbers. Right here are the ones you want. These are called your 5 summary numbers. They summarize everything. It's all that you need. Your min, your max, your quartile 1, your median, which is the middle quartile, quartile 2, and quartile 3. So it separates your data into actually quarters. And it gives you the pieces that you're going to need to make the whiskers. From here, if you write your information down, from here we can make your box and whisker graph. And we can take a look at your interquartile range. We can tell a lot from just this box and whisker. So we're going to pull this off here. And you got it? Did you get these? If you didn't get this, it's probably because one of your data is either missing or incorrect.
No, I just don't even know how you got that.
We went to stat. We went to edit.
Drew kept there, so it's like picking up the.
Yeah, my eraser mark.
So just move it off the thing.
We went to stat. We went to edit. We put all your information in. We went to stat. We went to calc. And we said calculate this on L1. From there, we scrolled all the way down so you can't scroll anymore. You know how you would find your median? You would scroll all the way down. Just scroll down till it stops. Those numbers are your 5 summary numbers. If they're not right, then maybe your data is off. How many does your N say? Scroll up a little bit. How many does your N say? N.
25. 25.
Should say 25. The first one. Just go to calc and hit enter. And make sure it was your L1. Get it? Okay. All right. So from here, we're going to take these numbers and we're going to make your box and whisker graph. So we have your min at 15, your quartile 1 at 21.5, your median at 23, your quartile 3 at 28, and your max at 30. Now, we're going to take this and put this in a box and whisker graph. The first thing you want to do is make a number line. You want to make a number line that spans from your lowest to your highest, because your whiskers are going to go out that way. So we're going to make a number line that goes from 15 all the way out to 30. So I'm going to space it a little bit and go by 5s. But space it a little more depending on how much room you have. And now you're going to take each one of these measurements and put a dot right above your number line. At 15, put a dot. At 21.5, put a dot. At 23, put a dot. At 28, put a dot. And at 30. The middle 3 make the box. This makes a box. And there's where your median is, right there in the middle. These are the whiskers. Those are your whiskers. This is how you make your box and whisker graph. But what it does, it shows us. So do you want to tell us what you already know about a box and whisker graph?
What?
Do you want to tell us what you know about a box and whisker graph?
No, I don't know anything about this.
So maybe that's why it doesn't make any sense to you yet.
Yeah,
So it takes it and it divides your data into quarters. 1/4 of your data sits right here, kind of spread out. 1/4 of your data sits here. 1/4 here and 1/4 here. There's your median right there. There's your middle of your data. Your median always has to fall in the middle. From looking at this, I've got a lot of data compressed right in here, and it might be compressed in here. That might be a tail. Maybe I want to look a little further and say, is 15 an outlier? Could this be that this guy is just kind of standing out there somewhere and skewed my data just a little? So take a look at this guy. See 15 out here?
You want to recalibrate your smart board?
No, I'm good, thanks. See 15? Look, do you see any other 10s besides 19, a 15 and a 19?
Well, 19 is relatively close, like the 20s.
15, yeah, it's pretty close to that 20 group.
Yeah, 15 is the only outlier.
15 is your outlier. So most of your data, notice, is sitting right here in this area. Most of your data is compressed right there. If we took further look, we would see how spread out this is. This is more consistent, and this is more spread out. So it gives you like a different look to your data. If you just do a histogram, that kind of shows you where the pieces are a little bit better. If you're dealing with just random data, sometimes you want to put it in a box and whisker. Your interquartile range would be from quartile 3 minus quartile 1. Your min and your max, here's an easy way to remember it. Your min and your max, you're taking the 2 outside ones. You're subtracting them. That's how far you know to go. That's your range. Your interquartile range is the one inside like this. And your median is all by itself. Your median is the middle of your data. So your interquartile range is subtract the 2 quartiles. This is actually quartile 2. Because that's half your data. You sectioned it into quarters. So that makes half of your data. Now your calculator also does this. It does a box and whisker graph. If you go to, turn your plot on, go to second y equals, and come down to the first one. You're on the first one, hit enter. We're going to turn this on, like this. Just hit enter for on. And you're going to come down to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To go 5 spaces down here. On your type, you're going to come down to the second to last one. That's a box and whisker. And you're going to hit enter. Now, this should be where your table of information is. If it's other than L1, you need to change it. The frequency is 1 because we have no frequency to this. So we come down here and we hit enter. And then we hit graph. Before you hit graph, make sure there's nothing in your Y1 like mine. Clear out your Y1s. Anything in there. And go to zoom stat. Let's put you in a statistic graph. Come down here till you see stat. It should be a little further down.
I don't
Zoom stat, number 9. Here's your box and whisker. See your box and whisker? Does it look like yours? Kind of. Now, the key to this is getting this to your paper. So you pretty much have to know what your number line starts with, your min and your max. But it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I did not get that.
Did you do zoom stat? Zoom 9? Do zoom 9. It'll put you in a statistic graph. Zoom 9.
I don't like problem stat.
Okay? So now I want you guys to try it yourself. Try this one. You're going to put this data in. You're going to put this data in your L1. You're going to do exactly what we did. All right, so for your min and your max, Alex, what'd you get? 12. What'd you get for your max? 32. Okay, Gunnar, what'd you get for your quartile 1?
17.
17? What about quartile 3?
30.
30? And Taylor, what'd you get for your median? 23. Everybody get these numbers?
No.
How do you
I got like
I got
28.
28.5.
Okay, hang on.
with everything wrong, right?
Okay, so which one do we need to change?
45.
Quartile 3?
28.5.
28.5. Thank you.
Wait, how do you determine that, Mrs. Moore?
Did you go to the one ver stat? You gotta do one ver stat. You will get the box and whisker by your L1 data, but for you to see the pieces, you gotta go through L1 stat.
Yeah, I'm over here like in the graphics. How can people tell?
Right, you can't. That's what I'm saying. You can graph this. How you can, guys, how you can tell, how you can tell over here is go to your window. Your window is going to tell you where it starts.
Oh, that's fine.
Your window tells you. So if you want, Courtney, if you want your window to start at 15, start your window at 15 and end your window at 15. Go to the Y max, or what was the last one, 30?
Why I got 30.
And the last one at 30. This is my old graph.
Do we have to do it on the calculator?
No, you can absolutely do it that way. But I'm just showing you the calculator does it, but it's harder to get to your paper. Yeah. Eventually you'll have to do that anyway. Okay. So from here we know what to start with. We're going to start with 10 and we're going to end with say 30 or 40. So 20, let's go to 15. 20, 25, 30, 35. And you have to be able to make this number line. Your min and your max are going to tell you where to start and stop. So just put your dots. 12, 17, you kind of have to estimate, 23, 28.5, and 32. This middle one is where your box is. Oops. This is where your box is. There's your median. Now, here's your whiskers. What can you tell me about this median compared to the last median? Kevin? It's in the center. And what about my data spread out?
Even.
It's pretty evenly spread out this time. My median is always the middle of my data. It's going to be in the middle. However, whichever middle your data falls in, but now your data is evenly spread out. Okay? It's a little bit spread out here now. It's kind of an even thing. And we still have to look to see if we have an outlier, because we don't know out here was there any outliers, but we can pretty much see that almost these are pretty evenly spaced apart. You can pretty much tell that they're spaced. Now, quartile 3, there's your min and your max, there's your range. Quartile 1, quartile 3, there's your interquartile range. This is your interquartile range, IQR. Your max and your min give you your range. Your Q1 and Q3 give you your interquartile range. Okay?
Oh, okay, okay.
Makes sense?
This is great.
It's a different, I really don't see people use too many box and whisker graphs, but if you're looking to see where your data is concentrated, this is a good way to see it too. Again, we can't tell where your data pieces are. We can't tell if an outlier is pulling it out, but sometimes when you can see each quartile is about the same, you know your data is pretty evenly spaced apart. You know which way your mean's going to flow. You know which way your data is going to go. We can put our mean on here, bring our mean up as well, and take a look at where your mean goes to see if your mean skews at all. The mean we won't put on the box and whisker, but we can keep an eye on it to see, is it around the median somewhere? Like, for instance, what was your mean in this? What was your mean for this data set? I'm guessing that it's real close to 23. What was your mean when you did your one Beer stat?
22.
Thank you. 23.92.
22.
22.92. Wow, that's even closer to 23, right? Because look how evenly our data is. Our mean, our median, our mode are probably falling smack in the middle. This is a nice even one. The one we did before,
Let's
the
keep
mean
to
was
the left
probably
because of
skewed.
the outlier. 15.
So let's take a look at that one. I have the graph up. Let me just do a stat on this and see what the mean was. Our mean for this guy is 23.96. And this is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23, and 24. Your mean is about right there. So your mean is skewed a little bit. Your data is concentrated, wherever this was. So keep track of that too, because that tells you a lot. This was the old one, not the new one. So keep track of your box and whisker. Now, when you build your box and whisker, and we did our box and whisker, each one of these is separated into quartiles. Quartile 1 is 25% up until the box. Here's your dot, your box, your median. Quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, quartile 4. Quartile 1 represents 25% of your data. Think of it as money, quarters. A quarter is 25 cents. So every quarter is 25%. Up to here, your median tells you 50% of your data. It is the middle of your data. 75, and then of course this piece brings you to 100. Now, what you need to remember is a percentile is not a score. It doesn't give you your score, same as you did way back when you did like Terra Novas and I forget what those other tests. If you took those standardized tests in elementary school and you had a bar chart that said you scored 43% higher, you scored 86% higher, these weren't your scores. This was your percentile. This is your ranking, kind of like your ranking with your GPAs.
That's what I was the PSATs did.
I'm sorry?
They did those with PSATs.
They did this with PSATs? They showed you how far ahead you were of
Oh,
everybody
yeah,
else?
they show you scored higher than like 81%.
Oh, very good. That's your percentile. That's your ranking.
I'm good at math
So-
without English.
I just thought they gave you your numbers, but this is where your ranking shows you how better you are than someone else. Now, these are which colleges look at. They don't look at your individual school, they look at your rankings, your percentiles. That's why when they do a chart, they say, I want up to this percentile. Give me whatever this percentile is. And that's where their cutoffs go. Now, when we do this, if we have to do something that's higher than 25, if we have to pick out a specific percentile, we kind of have to order your data and figure out where 64% of your data lies and figure it out from there. And we'll do that in a second. But the box and whisker gives you a nice view of your data, just into your 50s and stuff. If you take a look at page 5, your percentiles.
95?
I'm sorry, page 95, example 5. 97, example 5. If you take a look at example 5 on 97, there's the SAT score examples as well. They kind of show your ranks with your percentiles. So these are things that like colleges look at percentiles more than individual pieces. And every year they say, I want the top 20%. I want the top, an Ivy League school will say, I want the top 5%. And at the end of this unit, when we do the Z-scores, we'll be able to figure out what cutoff mark they want. If we want 95% of your data, we'll tell you what your cutoff mark is. So every year they kind of base it on that. And of course, every year your things change a little bit. Yes.
It's 1,500.
1,500? Oh, you did your graph already?
Yeah.
Okay, so how'd you get that?
Well, I just went to this, it's right below the 65.
Okay.
And then I just went down.
All right.
And just divided into quartiles.
Oh.
It's right in the middle. It's not all skewed to the left or to the right.
Perfect. So Darian went across his graph and came down and figured out what the score was for your 64th
I'm
percentile.
bugging. The answer's mainly down here too.
Oh, it is. Yes, of course it is. But we're gonna do it without looking at theirs.
I've seen like the red dot.
We're gonna do it
I
without
didn't do
looking.
the red dot one.
So when we come back on Monday, I'm gonna give you 1 or 2 of the box and whiskers to do, and then we're gonna finish off this little section. Box